Welcome, guys. This today is a very important message that we have from Christ and the Bible, and I want to jump right into it because it's so important. And we first start with Jesus giving the bread and telling that this bread represents his uh, flesh, and all the disciples ate it. And then he said that the chalice represents his blood that was made for forgiving all the all the people in his past and presence, and gave it to them, representing that he was giving us a way to redeem and go to heaven too. Then he went to pray, went away to pray after singing the psalms, and he went with all the apostles, but he said for them to stay in a certain zone while he took Pedro and two more apostles with him. He said for them to stay there and look to see if someone was coming, basically guard the place. And Jesus was feeling terrible, sad, and in agony, very in spirit, feeling very bad, as any of us human beings already feel in desperation. So Jesus went away and prayed for God, asking Him, "Please, God, take this chalice out of me. Uh, Not because it's my desire, but is that what you wish?" Saying that, showing that Jesus was, as any human, in despair. He was afraid, he was sad, he was tormented by the idea, as any of us women, that he will be tortured, he will be killed. Imagine if you knew that you are going to be brutally spanked, torture, they're going to carve you with metal to your hands and knee and your foot, and then they will kill you, and the all the process would be hours or hours of torture and humiliation. Imagine if you know this. Jesus, this shows the human part of Jesus. Jesus was a human, uh, part of him was human just like us, and he felt this despair and sadness, just to show you that Jesus was also in the flesh, a human being, and he also was afraid, as many as we get. So a lot of us a lot of times think like, oh, Jesus was the son of God, so he just had to do the things. No, he was also tormented by the fact that he will have to go through all this pain and torture that he had to go through until his assassination. This is very important to show this human side, this side that even Jesus himself didn't want to suffer. Even Jesus himself didn't want to get all this pain. So to give us confidence that God is with us, and sometimes we need to go to this pain because it's what God wants. Then Jesus comes back and see Pedro and the other two sleeping. So he said, "Can't you even stay 1 hour in vigilance? Pray so that your because your soul is strong but your flesh is weak, so pray to stay awake." And then he go and pray again and ask again, "Father, please, don't let me take this chalice, if it's possible by your wish." He went away again to them, and they were out sleeping once more. So he go back to the place where he prayed and ask again for mercy, if it was possible, not for mercy, but if it is possible for him to not drink that chalice, that future that he lives, if God will uh, lead him in a different way, because he didn't want to go through that pain, showing again he was a human, or he was not just human, but he had the same emotions and senses senses that we have, And so, as anyone who would not want to suffer in this deep uh, depth of pain and suffering, you know. So this is very important because shows this human part of Jesus, and that he was not just all powerful and not afraid of pain and suffering and being tortured and uh, fierce and beaten. No, he had also uh, feelings and senses that will he will know will be a very uncomfortable situation to go through. That's why he was so. That's why he said he's here that he was so sad and in agony because even him didn't want to go through any of these harsh reality that's about to come. But he came back again and he said, "The traitor is coming, and I'm gonna be taken." And before this, he said that all the apostles would run away and will be confused. And Pedro and said, I will never run away. I will never betray you." And all the apostles said the same. But he said that just like when the pastors is loose and all his sheep go astray, they don't know where they are going. And Pedro insisted. So Jesus said that you, before tomorrow at 12 p.m., if I'm not wrong, yeah, before it's not a chicken, it's the masculine part of the chicken. Let me let me say search here real quick, 'cause I don't want to. Before the rooster sings, you are lie. Renounce me 3 times. You are gonna lie about not knowing me, and we are gonna go further into that story by reading. We know the story, but we will go there if you don't know. And basically, the traitor Judas came. He was he made an an signal of he was going to kiss him, and when he kissed him, it means that he is the Messiah, Jesus. And Judas came, said, uh, "Save, save, save, Master." And I think it was like not save, but saving, but a way of greetings, right? I think at least, and give him a kiss. And the soldiers came and arrested him. Jesus said that he preached so many times and they were there and they didn't ever do anything. Uh, doesn't make sense for them to go so many. It was like 12 soldiers of the sacerdote, the of the priests and ancients, the owners of each place, with them. And he said, but that's okay because that's how the prophecy of our ancestors, the prophets from the past, said was about to happen. And this shows that this is equal to the Matrix. I don't. I'm not comparing this. I'm not saying this is the same type of people. I just want to compare to a reality. See Andrew Tate. He was run through thousands, like 10, 20, 30 police officers, all packed up, and just to arrest him for nothing. He was like it was a so total excessive amount of soldiers, right? And here is the same. Of course, Jesus is our savior, is the Messiah, is the most important human and Son of God who ever existed. But just to show that the Matrix applies in the same ways now. That like the devil's acting this way is always very abruptly, even though he was a prophet, he was the Messiah. They took him as a serious offender, and he is held as a robber. But yes, like just to show you how the history repeats when it comes to uh, people trying to do just, and how the Matrix or devil is gonna attack by other people. And then Jesus was arrested and took to the where the bridge of Cyphus was his home, and there they tried to find some crime to make him have a murder sentence, which they could not have found even with false testaments. Again, very similar situation, right, guys? Even now we see with Andrew Tate and millions of other people who try to bring justice, how have a lot of false testaments, a lot of lies that they try to bring is always the same. And Jesus Christ is above everyone. We're not trying to compare and saying anybody is equal, just showing that the mechanisms are the same. And there was nobody who could truly make him arrest for anything. And that's how it ends. Just but we know that Pedro was the only one who by far tried to get close to him, see what was the outcome of it, and he sits next to two guards, which we'll see the history that's the story that Jesus said was going to happen, and all the other apostles run away, as he said it was going to happen. And this is the message, guys, for you to have these learnings that Jesus had, like was adverted to suffer like any of us, did the deed as God wishes, because he was the Messiah, and that's how you should act too. But God always in the first place, even though we don't want something to happen, we are on second place. God is always in the first place. And yeah, as I said, this is very recurring. Even to nowadays, we see these acts of injustice on a daily basis, and we is literally occurring in today and in these days that we are living. And this was a message today, guys. And yeah, be faithful to God. God comes first always. If He has a plan for us, and it means any type of sacrifice, none of us wants. As you can see, even Jesus didn't want to face when he was close to all this suffering, but sometimes it's for a greater good, and in God we find peace, and the realm of heaven will be there. So, as I said before, suffering is a way to success, and this proves again that sometimes is a little suffering will bring big joy in in the end. Just finishing, Jesus also said when they were taking the wine and saying he was his blood, this will be the last wine before I drink with you the chalice in heaven of my Father, which shows us the next destination, heaven, for those who are chosen, those who behave as God wishes. That's it for today, guys. See ya.